Hello, hello. Happy Sunday night, Monday morning. Although, if you're listening to this on a Monday, like broad daylight, you have good taste. I see you too are a man of culture. Hi. Anyways, I hope the music isn't too loud, or is it not loud enough? I need to go. Oh God, that's louder. Maybe I could do a. I actually don't know how to use any of these filters. Is this better? Music today is provided by Tabletop Audio. They're great. If you're ever a DM or if you're looking for creepy stuff, they have a Patreon for like $5 a month. I use a lot of their audios because it's just the ambiance is great, and yeah, they're very generous with their usage. Hi. Simultaneous stream on both YouTube and Twitter as always. All right. I hope you guys had a good weekend. My weekend was okay. I've kind of been on like the semi hiatus. I've been working a little less, although that's gonna kick back into gear today. So, sorry, YouTube and Twitch. My bad. My bad. I haven't been on Twitter in like in like 4 or 5 days now. Wait, 4 or 5 days? More like 4 or 5 weeks. But yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of things. The weather in Taiwan's been kind of shit lately. It's been kind of gloomy and just a little sad, and I mean, I normally like this kind of weather, and it makes for good ambiance when I'm, doing this kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, so who's ready for some short, scary stories? Good for you. You know what Foley is. Yeah, Foley is like this, like sound effects and stuff. Yeah. So, today, I just wanted to do something really chill today. But I still wanted to stream. So, yeah. How scary we talking? Probably not that scary. But we're gonna go. So these are short, scary stories, which are it's good because these aren't too long. They're about 1,000 words or less. So they're 2 sentences minimum. 1,000 words maximum. So even if someone just drops in like midway through the stream, they don't have that long to wait once for a new story. So I'm going to be here for about maybe 2 hours. We'll see how long my voice can, we'll see how long my voice can, hold out for this. And then once I'm done with the stream, the audio will be uploaded to Patreon and Subscribestar. By the way, Subscribestar payment has been kind of wonky lately, so please make sure that you're still subscribed. I prefer Subscribestar subscriptions just because I get a bigger cut. Patreon takes about 20%. Subscribestar takes like 10%. And that builds up. Yeah. Something happened and I don't know what. Oh, hydrate and stretch. Ooh. Yeah. Also, for YouTube members, you will get 2 new audios this week, probably by Friday. It's yeah. I'm trying to like reach some kind of like I don't think I'll ever be able to achieve the sort of equilibrium that I need to have like a healthy work-life like balance. I don't know if that's ever possible for me. Because I'm happiest when I'm creating, but I'm also frustrated when I'm creating, right? Because what I want to create never really lives up to what I want it to be. It always falls short, and I have a hard time, like... I have a hard time settling, I guess. I don't have any scary stories from my life that I can tell you about, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't have any, yeah. My life is pretty, I've been very lucky, you know? I feel like I could have had a lot of scary stories, like real life, like terrible things, meeting random people and stuff, and yet somehow, hi, well, thank you for the follow. I should, but somehow I've met just really nice people. Which is not common. It's not common. Yeah, it is hard when you're self-employed, yeah. So I kind of like, I was like, kind of, you know, like tossing around the idea of maybe I should get a manager. But I'm like, I don't know if I can, yeah. I don't know. I feel like a manager, yeah, I don't know. All right. So, let's get started. So the first story that I'm going to read is the one that is top of all time. I feel like maybe this subreddit is not that popular. If you have other subreddits that you would like to recommend to me to read, please feel free to drop it into chat. You know. Hi. Hi. Is the volume all okay? Is everything good? Working with Patreon is terrifying. I woke up at like 6 on the last day of like August, and then I get the email, your account has been deactivated. Scariest day of my life in years. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I can give up my agency. I'm well, you know, it's hard to say, really. Yeah. It's hard to say. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? And if you have, you know, subreddits or something else you want me to read, just drop it in the chat box and we'll see. All right. This is from r/short stories. Short scary stories, by the way. I want to, you know, credit. Yeah. All right. This is posted by Pansik? Okay. Called My Family. This music is not really let me see if I can find another more creepier one. Okay. Here we go. I died 8 years ago. It wasn't particularly tragic or unusual. Just a car accident. I don't blame the man who hit me. He was speeding because his wife was in labor and there was black ice on the road. He lost control of the car and I lost my life. It's not his fault. I know that. I'm not cruel. I'm not vengeful. If anything, I'm the opposite. You see, I don't have any family left, and I had lost my few friends around that time. When it was time for my funeral, the only people who came was my boss and the family who killed me. The wife held her newborn daughter close to her chest. I hated my boss, and the cemetery was awfully lonely, so I followed the family home. This music is, wow, it's a little too, it's a little too intense. Okay. Lily may as well have been my own flesh and blood. She was sweet and bright and so very small. She had trouble sleeping if someone wasn't rocking her crib, and her parents were so tired. After they put her to bed, it was easy for me to rock her crib for her. I didn't get tired. I could help her. As the years passed, Jack and Lori realized that they weren't alone in the house. It didn't take long for there to make a connection between my funeral and when I'd showed up. And I'd never been malevolent, so they weren't afraid or angry. They started to burn candles on the anniversary of my death day. They left an empty chair for meals and holidays. I really felt like a member of the family. Someone is trying to force the door. It's Lori's ex. He's obsessive. He's angry. He's going to hurt the family. My family. The thing about ghosts is that the more offerings you get, the stronger you become. I'd been enjoying candles, trinkets, and even the occasional food item for the past 5 years. I was strong from that. The knife feels warm in my hand, a shock of heat against the ice of my skin. Lori and Jack are my family. I care about them. And they're not gonna join me yet. Ooh, that's not as spooky as I thought it was gonna be. Interesting. Yeah, seems like a nice ghost. I like the fact that they didn't go the yandere route. You know, the ghost decided, you're not gonna join me yet, but I will take care of this person here. I've done yandere ghosts before. Yeah, I have. I could always do another, then again. Yeah. So those are the comments. Alright, and this is top of all time. Here's the next one by user/mellow yellow sun. Oh, this is a short one. I know when my husband is cheating on me. I know when my husband is cheating on me. It's funny. Something like 60% of marriages end in infidelity, but you never think it'll be yours. There's so many articles on it too. How to tell, what signs to watch for. Is he spending too much money at the office or just working hard? Crappy episodes on daytime TV. Some silly girls sobbing as it's all revealed. These articles, shows, dramas, they're for weaker women. I knew the moment my husband didn't love me anymore. Oh, it'll start small. He'll smile more, for no reason. He'll laugh at little things she says or does, things that he would never in a million years found funny if he said them. And it'll only get worse. His face will light up like a sun when he sees her, And he will see her. You can't stop it. She's everywhere in his life. Invasive, like a cancer, or a leech, sucking all of his attention and love away from you. And then, even worse, his friends, your friends, will notice. They'll tell you they've never seen him before like this, how happy he is. It's enough to make you sick. And finally, he'll tell you. Tell you he's never felt love like this before. That he doesn't know how he lived without her. Well, something had to be done, obviously. I love my husband. I'm not having some little temptress steal him away from me. What kind of woman would I be then? No, so I took matters into my own hands. Thank God she's still little. I don't think I could have drowned her that easily if she could walk just yet. Dog. Damn. I hated how well my voice fit this. I'm scared now. I'm so scared. Oh God. What did I read and why did I read it like the way I did? Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I hate that there's no tags in the titles. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah. All right. The next one. Actually, let me check out some more like scary stories. There might be like some longer ones. I feel like they're not really what I'm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fair. The lack of tags do add to the scariness, but also I wish I had vetted these beforehand. I just don't like seeing bad stuff happen to children, you know? Even like the funny ones, like supposedly, like I can't. Those make me so sad. All right. Best horror stories on Reddit subreddit. I mean, obviously there's No Sleep, but No Sleep can tend to run quite long. So, but let's go with No Sleep anyways. So, /No Sleep. Ooh, they're looking for a moderator. Moderator, like Reddit moderators is such a thankless task. Oh yeah, I still don't read public scripts before I perform them. No, but I don't really perform public scripts anymore, so that's no longer an issue. Yeah. Alright, so let's go with top. Top. This year is kind of... Let's go with all time. Is this fun, guys? Are you enjoying this? Ooh, this one's a good one. This one has 73 upvotes. Ooh. Written by EA TBT. Posted 6 years ago. My sugar daddy asks me for weird favors. His Tinder profile said he was 45, but he looked to be in his early 30s at most. Looking for a sugar baby. $700 weekly. No sex. It sounded too good to be true, but as a broke university student, I was willing to take my chances. I swiped right, and Tinder let me know it was a match. His message came seconds later. Hey there, sweetheart. I cringed at that word. I hated it, but $700 was $700, so I sucked it up and replied, hey. His name was Jack. And he told me he owned his own business, although he never specified what kind of business it was. We talked for a while before he asked me for my Venmo to send me the first payment. After a few minutes, I got the notification. I stared at the $700 for at least 20 minutes, expecting to wake up from a dream at any second. But it wasn't a dream. You still there? Cool. I like seeing that narration without express consent. Okay, let's see. That's fair. Read the narrator's FAQ. I can't believe I'm stopping this now. Why didn't you just... I hate... His name was Jack, okay? I mean... Let's see. Because a lot of people... Let's see. I'm not really doing this for YouTube, so... Slouching. Let's see. I mean, I guess I'm technically, like, monetizing this, but maybe not really? Yeah. I don't know. If you guys tell me to stop reading these, I will. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. What should I do? Twitch reading. I mean, so let's see. If you're a small streamer who will make little to no money each stream, I mean, that's kind of true. I don't make I don't make much money on my streams. No one really seems to have a... But people do it. Of course, just because people do it doesn't mean that it's, Yeah. I don't know. Is this like one of those things where it's like... you ask for forgiveness later? Yeah. Same with reaction content in a few cases. Yeah, that's fair. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it for the stream then. I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm just kidding, but now I have to change the I now have to like change like the title and everything. Ugh. Mentokusai na. Yeah. Oh my gosh. To be fair though, like I think any content on Reddit is still kind of sketch. If we're gonna take like Reddit stuff into content, then I should just get off Reddit. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know what to do. Hmm. Let me see. Well, I can go to... I can do... Let's see. Because there's a bunch of like CCC, Creative Commons stuff. And those, as long as I'm not like actively like, you know, monetizing, I feel like those are okay. Guys, I'm supposed to be here helping you sleep. I'm not like, you know, I'm trying to like be like, you know, I'm sorry. I'm a little salty right now. Just a little bit. What is their about page? Do they have an about? They don't have an about. I know I shouldn't like shoot the messenger with bad news, but I can't help it. Hmm. Okay. Here we go. So, Creepypasta Wiki has a oh, I gotta change the title on my video now. So I gotta do that right now. I gotta do that. I don't even know if I can through YouTube. Could you change it for me, Shrinky? Thank you. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so Creepypasta does have a Creative Commons license. Let me just verify that. Yeah, so community content is available under CC BY SA. Right, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. What is this license summary? Oh god. Attribution. Oh my god. Let's see. Okay. I know everything that is being said currently right now. I don't fucking know, man. Okay, so here we go. You're free to share, copy, and redistribute material in any medium or format. That includes audio. Adapt, remix, transform, and build upon the material. The licensor cannot revoke these freedoms as long as you follow the license terms. Right. Okay. There we go. I like your funny words, Magic Man. Okay. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. So I think there is a go. Yes, it is. Thank you, Shrinky. Alright, so we're gonna browse by subgenre. Now, the quality is gonna be a little but I hope you guys don't mind. What are you guys thinking, huh? Are you guys thinking rituals, video games, vehicles, space, history, Halloween, Christmas? Why does Christmas have its own subgenre? A few years ago. That was not a few years ago. That was like 10 years ago. Those girls are like in their 20s now. I just read the Russian sleep experiment. Nightmare Before. 10 is not few, okay? Christmas lol. What do they have for Christmas? I'm curious. Oh, Jesus, these ads are obnoxious. I bought Santa's Other Workshop. Oh. The Killing Fields. Christmas Nightmare. I don't know. It's March. I feel like I'm not really in the mood for Christmas. God damn. Yeah, it is. It is. Ooh, the military category. That's interesting. Let's go with the military category. Just like Grandpa used to tell, horror and everything. Fuck off. Okay. Okay, you guys want the Russian sleep experiment? You fucking get the Russian sleep experiment. The Russian sleep experiment. Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books and cots to sleep on, but no bedding, as well as running water, a toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised, falsely, that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past. The general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4th day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering into the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber repeatedly, yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight, at which point he continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about this behavior was how the other captives reacted to it. Or rather, didn't react to it. They continued whispering into the microphones until the second of the captives started to scream. The two non-screaming captives took the books apart, smearing page after page with their own feces, and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering into the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it impossible that no sound could be occurring with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the people they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We're opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a calm voice respond in a single phrase. "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air. And immediately, voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened, and the soldiers were sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them were in life. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subject's thighs and chest, stuffed into the drain in the center of the chamber, blocking it and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers initially thought. Close examination indicated. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicated that most, if not all of them, were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the rib cage of all 4 test subjects had been removed, while the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remained in place. The skin and most of the muscles attached to the ribs had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the rib cage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact, but had been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all 4 could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the test subjects, most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still, many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. The test subjects themselves continued to scream to be left in the chamber and begged and demanded that the gas be turned back on, lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out, and another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives, if you count the ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arm of one doctor. His heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he had bled out, to the point there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack anyone in reach and just repeating the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell asleep. I had to see how much was left. The surviving 3 test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility, the 2 with intact vocal cords continuously begging for the gas, demanding to be kept awake. The most injured of the 3 was taken to the only surgical operating room that the facility had. In the process of preparing the subject to have his organs placed back within his body, it was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative they had given him to prepare him for the surgery. He fought furiously against his restraints when the anesthetic gas was brought out to put him under. He managed to tear most of his way through a 4-inch wide leather strap on one wrist, even though the weight of a 200-pound soldier holding that wrist. It took only a little more anesthetic than normal to put him under, and the instant his eyelids fluttered and closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that in his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen. The muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in a struggle to not be subdued. Most of them were from the force his own muscles had exerted on him. On them. I'm putting myself to sleep. The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested, reluctantly, that they should try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of having his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon presiding stated repeatedly that it should not be medically possible for the patients to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anesthetic as well, although they had to be injected with the paralytic for the duration of the operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bonds. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own organs, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given. I must remain awake. All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced and they were placed back into the chamber, awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the stated goals of their project, considered euthanizing the surviving subjects. The commanding officer, an ex-KGB, instead saw potential and wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but were overruled. In preparation for being sealed in the chamber again, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement. To everyone's surprise, all 3 stopped struggling the moment it was let slip that they were going back on the gas. It was obvious that, at this point, all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly and continuously. The mute subject was straining his legs against the leather bonds with all his might, first left, then right, then left again for something to focus on. The remaining subject was holding his head off his pillow and blinking rapidly. Having been the first to be wired to the EEG machine, most of the researchers were monitoring his brainwaves in surprise. They were normal most of the time, but sometimes flatlined inexplicably. It looked as if he were repeatedly suffering brain death before returning to normal. As they focused on paper scrolling out of the brainwave monitor, only one nurse saw the man's eyes slip shut at the same moment his head hit the pillow. His brainwave immediately changed to that of deep sleep, then flatlined for the last time as his heart simultaneously stopped. The last remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flat lines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, and then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He pointed his gun at the remaining subject, still restrained to a bed, as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled the room. "I won't be locked in here with these things. Not with you," he screamed at the man strapped to the table. "What are you?" he demanded. "I must know." The subject smiled. "Have you forgotten so easily?" The subject asked. "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your bed every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The researcher paused, then aimed at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flatlined as the subject weakly choked out. "So nearly free." Original author unknown. Source we still here, guys? I want myself to sleep here. Oh boy. I need to check and see how long these things are before I actually start reading them. All right. I can't even X out of this. How dare you? In the darkness dwells. Let's see how long this is. Holy Maybe I will read this for a Patreon later. It's too long. I can't. Oh, God, these are so long. These are very long. I didn't know why I thought that was going to be short. It flows. Let's check this one out. This one's a little more reasonable. All right. But I do have to take a brief bathroom break. So I'm going to be right back. Okay, sorry. I also had to prep some rice for my lunch. I'm back on that chicken breast, rice, and broccoli diet. Oh, so excited. Yeah, hopefully you guys weren't waiting too long. Okay. Yeah, it's healthy. I've been kind of eating like crap these past few days, so I'm like, my body needs a hard reset. Ooh. What kind of rabbit is eating chicken breast? That bothers me to a supreme level. Alright, so the next that we're gonna read is It Flows. The following is a transcript of a short diary found in an excavated trench in the forward German line in France from the era of the First World War. The use of the trench was not accounted for by equipment, and most of what was described was evidently cleared away for burial, as few bodies remain. The soldier is nameless. No identification was found on the diary or any of the few British corpses that remained in the trench. There may be other incidents similar to this, and if any arise, I will make transcripts and post them. Oh, I get that. I got that reference, yeah. You guys ever see those pictures of like rabbits? People give them strawberries and then the rabbits eat it and it turns their whole mouth area just bright red. It's pretty terrifying. Ooh, yes. January 15th, 1915. We trudged on through the mud. It filled our boots and coated our legs. Its splashes marked our jackets and dotted our faces. Rifles in hand, sacks shouldered, and multiple tools strapped to us, we marched. Our group was sore and tired. Our legs ached and our feet burned. Marching and writing is hard. But then again, so is staying alive in this travesty. January 16th, 1915. This is not the right sound. This is... No. Okay. I was like, that's not the right sound effect for this story. Alright. January 16th, 1915. Good night. Oyasumi nasai. We came across an abandoned enemy trench network today. We were marching and we stumbled upon it in a forest in the early morning. There was a thick fog and its discovery was pure accident. One of our fellows dropped down seemingly into the ground and landed with a dull thud, having landed on a pile of semi-decomposing corpses. We decided to hole up for the day in the clear parts of the trench. The parts that were not clear were piled high with German bodies. This war will hopefully end soon. I have no clue as to why I signed up. January 17th, 1915. We are staying in the trench for the time being. Heavy shelling started recently and stopped us from progressing further into enemy lines. The problem that resides, though, is that we have forgotten our orientation, and as such, we do not know from which side the shells are falling from. And to make things worse, our compasses seem to be acting up, spinning in all directions, wobbling nonsensically. One even exploded. A fog has also set in thick, and with it has set in an unwillingness to get moving. January 18th, 1915. I happened upon a commander's dugout while exploring the trenches. I was ordered to scout around the unexplored trenches about us by my unit's leader, Captain Darlington. I was surprised by what I found in the dugout. An officer, lying sprawled on the floor, fingers literally dug into his throat, having torn it. What could convince a man to do such a thing surpasses my imagination. I can only suppress the image in my mind lest it drive me to distraction. January 19th, 1915. Fights are breaking out among the men. Punch-ups are happening every few hours. I put it down to the fact that we have not moved in several days, and we are tired, cold, and restless. What may have been petty bickers elsewhere have escalated in the close proximity we have to inhabit. Captain Darlington managed to keep everything at bay for the time being by firing his gun into the air, but many of us will not be able to stand each other for much longer. I only hope the fog and shelling lift long enough for us to travel. January 20th, 1915. We've been hearing strange noises overnight. Sounds of troops flooding over the parapet, gunshots and screams. Holing up in this trench is far from good for the mind. We're paranoid and afraid. I reckon it's the constant shelling. Our ears must hurt from the noise. That and collective hysteria. That's all for now. I was just ordered to scout out a further line in the trench we've discovered. I may write another entry today depending on what I find. January 20th, 1915. My findings were strange. The trench I investigated was piled knee-deep with German dead. All had their fingers forced through the soft flesh of their throats. I nearly vomited on the spot. It was a vile sight. There is something not right about this trench, something unnatural happening not so long ago. January 21st, 1915. Fights are becoming more serious. Arguments are now more personal. Multiple men now have had punishments for their actions, though even the commanders are acting irrationally. My friends and I are not sure how long we can go without simply deserting into the maelstrom of artillery and wire and fog. All of us now have a feeling of being isolated. Believe me, this is not a good situation to find ourselves in. Luckily, Captain Darlington is still level-headed, our battalion in check. He is our sole source of clarity in this muddle of violence. January 20th, 1915. Someone died today. A fight turned into a small shootout, and it resulted in one poor man with no involvement having his brains blown across the firing step by a stray bullet. Tension is high. Everyone is staring at each other as if daring one another to start something. Everyone jumps at the slightest human noise. We are used to the shelling, so our company became absolute chaos when the noises of battle invisibly waited across us for the third and fourth time. We cannot live like this for much longer. Another captain came to his senses in the chaos today, and that is the only good thing to have happened today. After the shooting, he came round and rationed our ammunition, saying something along the lines of, "Now you have little enough to fight off just the Jerrys, but not each other. Calm the bloody hell down." January 23rd, 1915. I think someone may wish me malice. A misplaced and unnecessary bullet glanced the side of my helmet this morning. If someone had a grudge against me, the pot shot may have been understandable in these unbearable circumstances, but I cannot think of anyone I may have wronged. I now know that the fights have no meaning. They are simply mindless aggression. What I do not know, however, is why this is the case. I am simply perplexed. January 24th, 1915. I have begun to watch my back. I receive shoves and sometimes kicks when I walk around the men. Mindless is all that I could call our predicament. We have not moved, we have not communicated, and none of us can stand each other anymore. Even those I would consider my friends seem to have no regard for me. The officers are the worst, though. They go around waving their revolvers in the faces of anyone who dare to question their authority or leadership. We need to do something soon. Revolve. January 25th, 1915. Someone wants me dead. I know it. Someone barged me over and stomped on my chest, sprinting off before I could see who it was. I asked the others who it was, but they refused to tell me. We are all going crazy in this hellhole, and we need to leave. We are at each other's throats, stuck in close proximity. That alone is an awful situation to be in. We all constantly glance over our shoulders and check that our guns are loaded. The enemy could come from any angle, German or otherwise. January 26, 1915. Shrieks and gunfire are all that could be heard today. We all know it is not real, though. It has happened before, and as long as we stay here, it will happen again. These phantom battles are happening more and more often. The sounds of bayonets crunching bone, the sound of guns firing, screams of agony as men are torn apart by shrapnel. We know it is simply our imagination, but we cower on the ground nonetheless. Fear is rising, and we do not know what to do. January 27th, 1915. The men started dropping like flies today. Many simply fell to the ground. Others choked and gagged and clawed at their throats. Most of the men have begun coughing. Like some terrible disease, it is starting to spread. We are all terrified. This, mixed with our hallucinations of battle, are destroying our minds. I cannot take this for much longer. If the commanders do not move soon, I may simply desert. January 28th, 1915. I began coughing today. January 29th, 1915. Shadows appeared at the top of the parapet today, accompanied by phantom noises. They loom over us, shaped like men, heads angled as if staring at us. I have had no other option but to shut my eyes and curl up in the mud, hiding from reality, or rather unreality, during these irrational encounters. We cower, afraid of nothing, and yet we do not move. We stay terrified in this trench of illusion. January 30th, 1915. More deaths. Those of us who remain, we are tired. Captain Darlington is among the dead. I am tired and weak, though I still keep watch. It is a futile effort, as I have barely enough strength to walk, let alone fight. The shadows are constant now, and they've begun to whisper, their voices long, hissing and understandable to no ears. Occasionally, we will all choke, usually simultaneously, and blood will rise from our itching throats. I feel that history may be repeating itself. January 31st, 1915. I am sore. I am tired. My throat itches. I am on one side of the trench, the far side, and the rest are on the other. All but one is dead. He has refused to claw himself. The others did it and looked as if they had a few final moments of relief, as if they had no throats left to incessantly burn. He claws, so his neck is lashed and infected. I want to help, but I cannot move. I wish I could help. February 1st, 1915. The hiss. I figured it out. All along it was so simple. We overlooked it. It never seemed to have a place in our minds. Descends into scrawling for several lines. Our masks. It flows. Slip mark. Well, that was interesting. That was very interesting. I left out the revolver. Sorry. So these are usually how my audios go. I don't one-shot them, I can't. But my reads are usually quite clean. Stretch. All right. Let's do a non-military one. What do you guys think? Which one should I pick now? This will probably be the last one. Thank you for the follow. It was interesting. I guess the soldiers are from the UK. They're British soldiers. Captain Darlington. What's let's do video games one. I'm getting really hungry, actually. Ritual sounds interesting. Well, that was more than what one person. That was more than 0, so. Oh. God, I hate this picture so much. Tomino's hell. Do you guys know this one, actually? This could be interesting. Yeah. This one is decently creepy. I shall read it then. Let's change. Alright. Tomino's Hell. Tomino's Hell. Tomino no Jikoku was written by Saijo Yaso for his 27th collection of poems, Sakin, or Gold Dust in English, in 1919. There is a Japanese legend surrounding it which states it should only be read with the mind and never out loud. It's uncertain how this rumor started, but it goes on to say that, quote, tragic things will happen if you do. Well, that's unfortunate for me. The story used to be very popular on 2chan. Many users said that nothing happened after reading it and uploaded pictures and videos as proof. But there were also posts where the users did not come back to post any results. If you were to read this out loud, it'd be better to do so in Japanese. An alternative, more accurate translation by David Bowles can be found here. Tomino no Jikoku. Should I read it in Japanese or the English? I guess I can read it in both, right? 姉は血を吐く、妹は被爆. His older sister vomited blood. His younger sister vomited fire. 可愛いTominoは玉を吐く. And the cute Tomino vomited glass beads. 一人地獄に落ちゆくTomino. Tomino fell into hell alone. 地獄暗闇花を 지고쿠 kurayami hana mo naki. Hell is wrapped in darkness, and even the flowers don't bloom. Muchide takaku wa Tomino no ane ka. Is the person with the whip Tomino's older sister? Muchi no shubasa ga ki ni kakaru. I wonder whose blood is on it. Tatakeya, tatakiare, tatakazu totemo. Hit, hit, without hitting. Mugen jigoku wa hitotsu michi. Infinite hell's one road. Kurai jigoku e anai wo tanomu. Would you lead him to the dark hell? Kane no hitsuji ni, uguisu ni. To the sheep of gold, to the bush warbler. Kawa no fukuro ni ya ikura hodo ireyo. Fit as much as you can into the leather sack. Mugen jigoku no tabiji taku. For the preparation of the journey in the familiar hell. Haru ga kite, soro hayashi ni tani ni. Spring is coming, even in the forest and the stream. Kurai jigoku, tani nanamagari. Even in the 7 valley streams of the dark hell. Kago ni ya uguisu, kuruma ni ya hitsuji. The bush warbler in the birdcage, the ship in the wagon. Kawai Tomino no me ni wa namida. Tears in the eyes of cute Tomino. Nakeyo uguisu, hayashi no ame ni. Cry, bush warbler, towards the raining forest. Imoto koishi to koe kagiri. He shouts that he misses his little sister. Nakeba kodomo ga jigoku ni hibiki. The crying echo reverberates throughout hell. Kitsune botan no hana ga saku. I think that's I think that's the fox peony blooms. Jigoku nanayama nanatan ni meguru. Circling around hell's 7 mountains and 7 streams. Kawai Tomino no hitori tabi. The lonely journey of cute Tomino. Jikoku gozaraba mote kite tamore. This is very hard for me to read. Jikoku gozaraba mote kite tamore. If they're in hell, bring them to me. Hari no oyama no tomehari wo. The needle of the graves. Akai tomehari date ni wa sasanu. I won't pierce with the red needle. Kawai Tomino no mejirushi ni. In the milestones of little Tomino. The image associated with the story is a crop version of a painting by Yuko Tatsuhima entitled I Can No Longer Be a Bride. Which I think is もう嫁にならない. It was supposedly made after the artist became a victim of sexual assault. The title refers to how, according to Japanese tradition, women who are SA'd often have ensuing difficulties with marriage and reputation due to the perception of them having lost their innocence. Is this an actual thing? Yuko's official Japanese. I don't think it is. Is it? Can be found here. Let's see, shall we? Ooh. I was scared. Oh, this image will... Okay, well, okay. That I was still scared. Mark, well, it's not, but... Wow. I'm scared. This one legitimately kind of got to me. I'm actually really creeped out now. Oh. What's my heart rate at right now? I have to check. I'm curious. It's only 84. I thought it would be higher. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so it was supposedly made after the victim became a victim of sexual assault. So that makes sense. It's a very terrifying image, isn't it? I don't know if I want to read that on stream, though. That one was decently scary. I am scared. Let's do one more. That one was a short one. Let's do... Ghosts at the Crossroads. You guys notice how my voice changes depending on the article that I read? That is a long one. It's not that long though, actually, I don't think. Yeah, I can do one more. Ghost at the Crossroads. Yeah. Are you guys having fun? Are you guys enjoying this? I hope you are. All right. Do you believe in fate? Well, whatever you do, or not, whether you do or not, it exists, and it does seem to have a will of its own. Oh, are you playing Hard Stardew? Nice. But it also seems to be a reasonable beast. Thank you for the follow. Willing to flex and bend to those who prove themselves worthy of breaking from the default path they were assigned in life. Of course, it is the best of friends with karma, and together they are merciless and cruel towards those they feel deserve it. This is gonna be... I don't know if I'm gonna actually read that one. This, already from the first part, I already feel like it's... Oh, God, I hate that. The Bloody Mary game. Do you guys know what the Bloody Mary game is? I played this when I was a kid, like in elementary school. Do you guys know this game? A few weeks ago, I went on a school trip to visit a couple of museums in the capital, so we had to spend a few nights at a hotel. It was bound to be just another boring experience, but that time, it was not the case at all. On the first night, when we got back to the hotel, I met Nicole, a girl from another school that was visiting the same places as us. Her room was right next to mine, so she introduced me to some of her friends, and we got along pretty well. After a couple of hours, I went back to my room and got ready for bed. It was almost midnight, and as I was brushing my teeth, I could hear the girls laughing, so I put my ear against the wall and tried to listen, using the glass resting on the sink. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, but it sounded like Nicole and her friends were murmuring and giggling. I assumed it was just some good old-fashioned gossip and went to sleep. The following day, when I met up with Nicole and the crew, I asked her about the previous night. She said they were playing the Bloody Mary Truth or Dare game. It's like playing Truth or Dare by spinning a bottle, but with a twist, she said. Basically, if you chose truth, this is not the Bloody Mary game that I know. If you chose truth, you'd have to share a personal secret about yourself. Otherwise, you would be dared to say Bloody Mary 3 times while staring at yourself in the mirror with the lights off, only having a dim flashlight pointed at your face. It is said that if you complete those steps, Bloody Mary will come and take your soul, or some nonsense along those lines. Another important rule was to record yourself while you completed said ritual. What story? What do you mean? It's a Bloody Mary game. Where am I going? Okay. Okay. I laughed about it and asked if I could join, and she naturally invited me to come back to her room around midnight and play with them. After yet another exhausting museum tour, it was finally time for the game. Once we were all back at the hotel, I changed clothes as fast as I could and rushed to Nicole's room, eager to have some fun after such a boring day. After a few quick turns and witnessing Nicole scaring some of the other girls, it was my turn to take the flashlight to the bathroom. I said the name twice without any hesitation. However, when I was about to say it for the third time, a cold chill went down my spine and I almost turned on the lights. Then I heard Nicole calling me a chicken, so I just shouted, "Bloody Mary," at the top of my lungs. I could feel myself clenching my teeth as soon as I uttered the words, as if I was getting ready for Bloody Mary to come, or more likely, just Nicole trying to scare me. To nobody's surprise, nothing happened, and we carried on with the game for a couple more rounds before going to sleep. 3 weeks have passed since that night, and I have gathered some friends at my house to teach them the game. Some of them are real scaredy cats, but they're too proud to admit it, especially the guys. I think we'll hear a few screams tonight. I can't wait. We're about to start the game, and I offer to go first. I wonder if somebody will try to scare me, and quite frankly, I kind of want them to. The rush of adrenaline and the silly look on one's face when they get scared of their own reflection is quite something. As I enter the bathroom with the lights off, I proceed to say the name 3 times. After a few seconds, I hear my friends complaining that they didn't hear me, so I just say it again 3 more times. After a brief moment of silence, I notice a slender figure behind the shower curtains. It looks a bit like my little sister. She's rather short for her age and has long wavy hair. I bet she's trying to scare me. The other kids waited for about 5 minutes before checking in on their friend. They turned on the lights and she wasn't there. But the window was wide open, so they all laughed and thought she ran outside to scare them by knocking on the door. Her sister picked up the phone and replayed the recording. After the sixth Bloody Mary, a dark silhouette of a girl appeared to come out from behind the curtain. As she got closer to the mirror, dark red streaks could be seen on her face, almost like she had been crying blood. A couple of seconds later, the phone just turned itself off, and so did the lights. That one was okay. Oh no. What happened? Why'd you have to time someone out? What'd he do? What did he do? Was he being a bad boy? Hitori kakurenbo? Spam. Oh, bad spam. Get out of here. Thank you. The mods always watching my backs. I think Hitori Kankorenbo is ritual. Right. But I don't see it here. L'Hôtel des Contours. I probably misspelled that incredibly. Oh. That's a lot. It's liminal space stuff. He waits for how to cook a soft-boiled egg. I know what Hitori Kakurenbo is. Oh. This is pretty long for how to cook a soft-boiled egg. But, yeah, I didn't even see hide and seek here. Except for hiding in plain sight. Hell.exe. Yeah, there is no hide and seek. Ooh, that's a little long. Let's see how long this one is. It's a little long. Alright, let's get out of rituals. And then let's go to video games. Abandoned servers. Ooh, that's long too. Akarui mirai. Oh, that's so long. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find something that's a little short. Playing along with Evelyn. Oh. I saw the word porn there. Oh, I'm sorry. Pharaoh's Crypt. Probably no porn in there. Yeah, it's also hella long. Oh my god. Oh, these are all quite long. The kite game? That is long too. The Lady of Odin song. Ugh, that's Ultima Abyss. Do you guys Ultima is still a thing, right? Isn't it? Or am I thinking about RuneScape? Let's see if they have Lavender Town. They don't have Lavender Town. Sorry. Do they have like a Pokemon just section? Maybe it's in a... Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait. Actually, they do. Category Pokemon. Lavender Town Syndrome. Okay. Let's see how long this is. That's not too bad. Alright, I can read this. I don't know if I should. Lavender Town Syndrome. The Lavender Town Syndrome, also known as Lavender Town Tone or the Lavender Town... I'm not going to say that word out loud, was a peak of suicides and what the hell, my channel get demonetized all the time anyways, and illnesses of children between the ages of 7 to 12 in Japan back in February 27th, 1996. Was that not a leap year? The phenomenon occurred shortly after the release of the first Pokemon games, Pokemon Red and Green. Rumors say that these suicides and illnesses only occurred after children playing the game reached Lavender Town. Yeah, I think after this my voice will probably just like be just trash, so this is gonna be my upload for the day. I'm so sorry. The location's theme music had extremely high frequencies that studies have shown only children and young teens can hear because their ears are more sensitive. Due to this effect, at least 200 children supposedly committed suicide, and many more developed conditions and afflictions. The children who killed themselves usually did so by hanging or jumping from heights. Those who did not often acted irrationally and complained of severe headaches after listening to the theme. This mass hysteria was caused by the first released version of the game. After the incidents, the programmers fixed the location's music to be at a lower frequency. Lavender Town now sounds differently depending on which Pokemon you're playing, but since that change, children are no longer affected, well, I guess afflicted works too, by the song. One video appeared in 2010 using, quote, special software to analyze the audio waves of Lavender Town's music. When played, the software created images of Unon near the end of the audio. This created controversy since the Unon doesn't appear in the series until the Generation 2 games, Silver, Gold, and Crystal. The arrangement of Unon appears to translate to, quote, leave now. The original Lavender Town theme can be listened to below. Viewer discretion is advised. Ooh. There's 6 minutes of this. That is so loud. Yeah, I'm too much of a hag to have this affect me in any way. Oh no, and it woke up people. I didn't think it was going to be that loud. I'm so sorry. Is the horror fandom also with the CC? Let me check it out. I don't think I want to get to that though. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of creepypastas involving Pokemon. I don't know, I'm surprised. It's like the games are like, what? Almost 30 years old now? Alright, we'll do one more. One more. 3 years later. We'll do one more. That is a lot. The gas man. Cubone, yep. Hags. Well, it seems a good idea to just end the stream on Hags. And the Pokemon names are different, like even in Japan too. Yeah. Hags. Every nation has its own variation of the wicked old witch. To the point, it is a stereotype largely mocked in media, reserved for frightening little children on Halloween or playing the antagonists in simplified fairy tales that have been altered significantly from their darker roots in mythology and legend. Where I'm from, they are known as hags. And although the term has slowly begun to be replaced by the generic witch, it is still widely used, though belief in these supernatural beings has long died out even in the more remote regions of the Scottish Highlands. Once believed to be spirits of nature, not unlike the fairies, who were originally far darker than the winged humanoids made popular by Disney. The hags were feared and worshipped in equal parts over many parts of Scotland. As Christianity began to spread, however, they lost their original purpose as nature spirits and took on the malevolent roles we have come to associate with the, quote, wicked witch. Mothers would warn disobedient children of the grisly Black Annis, whose long claws could capture children from their beds and spirit them off to the countryside, where she would devour them, adding their bones to a small pile situated deep in a cavern someplace in the mythical hills. Others would discourage adventurous youths from playing near streams or ponds by telling tales of Jenny Greentooth, an evil spirit who could take on the form of floating weeds or branches, dragging those who stray too near the edge to a watery grave. So, like, yeah, they just use these figures as basically cautionary tales, right? Many innocent men and women were victimized under the brutal witch hunts in the height of this superstitious age, the now infamous burning of, quote, witches being one of the dark chapters of European history, and one that would sadly resurface overseas in the Salem witchcraft trials. Across Scotland, there are numerous stones and witches' wells dedicated to the memories of those poor, unfortunate souls. Poor, unfortunate souls. So sad. So true. Sorry. Who were sacrificed to the demons of religious fanaticism and mob mentality. Yet this tragedy only shows how very real the threat of the Hags was seen to be in the eyes of our ancestors. Everything that went wrong could be blamed on these malicious crones, ranging from minor afflictions to the death of cattle or even tragedy in a household. Even in the modern age, when one takes the time to head to the more remote areas of Scotland, one can understand why the land was once thought to be crawling with goblins, ghouls, and hags. As the mist comes down from the mountains, one can easily imagine a spectral crone walking amongst the haze, casting her spells or looking for unwary children to feast on. For the tranquil scenes of mist and heather hide a brutal and bloody past, rife with treachery and clan warfare. Which is why I'm one of the relatively few who have begun to believe in hags again, though not as the wicked witches of early Christian dogma, but instead as the spirits of unhappy and restless souls, wandering the landscape and searching for a world long lost to the march of time. Even as towns and cities began to stretch across what was once open countryside, I imagine the hags continue their spectral walk. After all, the living world is fleeting, but the world of the spirits is truly eternal. Even though the days of sword and superstition have long faded, the spirits of Scotland's many hags remain. All right. That is all for me. Was that enjoyable? Do you think that was more fun than me playing a game? What do you guys think? The beef bandit. Maybe I'll read this next time. That's pretty hilarious. Was it a different kind of fun? Yeah. Tomorrow I will be playing Observation Duty. Please hop on by. I would love to see you guys help me. Because I cannot, yeah. That game is very difficult. Yeah, thank you so much. This will be posted up on Patreon and Substar. And yeah. I'll also be doing a readings channel soon. I've got so much stuff to do. Oh my god, I'm literally drowning under everything. But I need to go use the restroom again because I've had a lot of tea and just liquids. Thank you so much for the bits. Don't forget, guys, all super chats and all bits, 50% of those will go to the West Virginia Children's Hospital. I get emails from them all the time. When are you donating next? I get it. Fundraising is always difficult to do. Yeah. Yeah, so that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And yes, Jack, I know. I will add that to my list of things to do this week. Have a good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite. All right.